It's Father's Day, and a lot of people may have plans today to do something with their father. It occurs to me that typically this is a day where the dads get to do what they want. So they might say, I want to do something like go to the baseball game. You could do that today because the Dodgers are playing this afternoon. I discovered before I came up this morning, the Dodgers also played last night and did something that completely undercut the topic that I want to share today because they lost 15-0. So if you're going today, just the odds are you're going to get a better experience than the people that went last night. But baseball, I feel like there's not that many opportunities where we get to talk about baseball here, but I think this is a very good metaphor for how we can view who we are as fathers, and not just fathers, but also the energy of anyone who feels that they have to be in control. As dads, a lot of time, that's something that we deal with, that I want to be in control. And in baseball, there's one position player who always wants to be in control, and that is the starting pitcher. I in some ways identify with that now because I'm kind of the starting pitcher here of the three amazing speakers that are going to be speaking. But the starting pitcher has one role. If you don't know baseball, in 20 seconds, give you the nutshell. Their job is to throw as many successful innings as possible. Ideally, if they can throw 6 or 7 innings, that's a great starting pitcher output for that day. And then what will happen is the other pitchers from the bullpen will come in, and they'll help get the game to the ending. So starting pitcher, in some ways, has like the most important job, and their job is that sort of I can do it energy. And that's the part that I think as dads, we can identify with. Dads have a very much I can do it energy, meaning it's up to me. If you've ever tried to give dad directions on where to drive, you get this. If you've ever brought home furniture from IKEA and dad said, I can do it. If you've ever tried to figure out how to set up your smart TV, who's going to come along and tell you I can do it? The dad is, of course. And it's not just, they don't just say it that way. They say it with lots of exclamation marks. I can do it. When it comes to being a father, and we talked about Dr. Tiffany mentioned my daughter, Sarah. I very much had that energy, and I was speaking with Erin last night, my wife, and we kind of both had that energy when Sarah was born, which was, as new parents, we wanted the opportunity to kind of just spend some time together as a family, because you probably all know, lots of relatives will say, do you need help? Do you want us to come over maybe those first couple of weeks? And we said, no, we've got it. We can handle it. It was very much I can do it energy. So we bring Sarah home. Oh, all right. And this is where I want to share this quote with Ernest, from Ernest Holmes, because I think this summarizes this idea. He says, man creates nothing at all. He merely uses creative forces. Spiritual mind practice calls not only for definite attention and active awareness, but equally for a sort of relaxation because of implicit confidence in the law. And this is the part where I think not just dads, but I think a lot of people have that, I've got to do it, and they don't have the implicit confidence in the law. And that was certainly our situation when we brought Sarah home. This is 2000, probably around the first month or so. In fact, I don't know, there wasn't a date on this picture, but it could very well be the day we brought her home, which was a challenging day. Because, as you know, when you have kids, you probably don't sleep much. You get home from the hospital, you're exhausted, and Erin wanted to take a nap. And so she put Sarah in the bassinet right next to the bed and said to me, I had one job. Just watch Sarah and make sure she's okay. I figure I can do that, right? And that's a pretty easy job. I'm just looking at, in theory, a sleeping daughter. Well, I'm looking at her, and pretty quickly, she starts turning purple, as in not breathing. Fortunately, she's okay, obviously, but Aaron immediately grabbed her, did the Heimlich. I call 911. We have the paramedics come, take her to Los Robles Hospital. So literally within an hour of us being home, we're already in the ER with our newborn daughter. And that wasn't the only challenge that we had, because she was also had a little bit of jaundice when she was born, which is very common. So they have to put the kids in these, like a little tanning booth, essentially, to sort of get rid of the bilirubin. So that first day and a half that we're home, neither of us has slept much. I'm having to watch her. Aaron's having to watch her all the time to make sure she stays in this thing. And by the time Saturday night came around, I couldn't function. I literally could not function. In fact, I was on the floor, kind of curled up in the fetal position, crying, because I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And I hear, Aaron's laughing. Thank you so much. I hear downstairs Aaron on the phone calling her mom. Mom, can you come out? Her mom couldn't. She was in Michigan. It couldn't just arrive right away. So she calls my mom, who's in Colorado, and she says, Sally, can you come out? This is what I'm hearing while I'm like on the floor in the fetal position. And what I hear next is, he's on the floor crying. So my mom, who I'm eternally grateful to, came out the next day on Mother's Day, no less, and was with us. And then a short time later, Aaron's mom came out, and then we had all the help that we could use. And this reminds me of baseball, because essentially our mom, my mom, was the bullpen. She was the person that came in when we thought, as a starting pitcher, I can do this. And so this feels to me, and the title of my talk is The Quantum Bullpen, because my mom was out there in the same way that the bullpen is behind the pitcher. And it's not just behind the pitcher, it's everywhere. It's all around you. And all you have to do is allow that to be who you are, because it is who you are. So I'll close with this thought, which is that when you allow that quantum energy, God, that amazing consciousness to be who you are and to flow through you, you will always win. Because in baseball, when the starting pitcher goes out of the game with a lead and then the bullpen comes in, guess what? That pitcher still gets the win and the bullpen gets the save. So look for places in your life where maybe you need to let go of the baseball and give it to the universe, to the quantum field, and allow that support to flow through you. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Thor.